Imagine walking into an art gallery and being hit with an explosion of color. Vivid oranges, electric blues, and radiant yellows, all defying the natural world. This was the effect of Fauvism, an art movement born at the turn of the 20th century. Known as the wild beasts, the Fauves shocked the art world with their bold, uninhibited use of color. But what made them so radical? Fauvism wasn't just about color, it was about emotion, energy, and breaking free from convention. The movement, though brief, became a powerful turning point in the history of modern art, setting the stage for future revolutions in artistic expression. Fauvism emerged in France in the early 1900s, led by artists like Henri Matisse and André Derain. It wasn't a calculated movement, but rather a spontaneous explosion of experimentation. These artists were heavily influenced by Post-Impressionists like Vincent van Gogh and Paul Gauguin, who used color to convey mood and emotion. However, the Fauves took this idea further, pushing color to its limits. At the Salon d'automne in 1905, their works were displayed together, causing an uproar. A critic sarcastically dubbed them "le fauve," wild beasts, because their paintings seemed untamed and primitive. The name stuck, and a movement was born. The Fauves believed that color should not imitate reality but express the artist's inner feelings. In Matisse's Woman with a Hat, for example, the subject's face is painted with greens and pinks, not to represent her literal appearance but to capture her vitality and presence. This use of non-naturalistic color was revolutionary. The Fauves rejected the traditional approach of shading and perspective, instead using flat, vibrant tones to create a sense of immediacy and energy. For them, the canvas was a playground of emotions, and color was their language. At its core, Fauvism was a rebellion. It challenged the strict rules of academic painting, where realism and technical precision were prized above all. The Fauves painted with instinct, often completing works in a matter of hours rather than weeks. They valued spontaneity and raw emotion over meticulous detail. Their brushstrokes were loose, their compositions simple yet dynamic. It was a celebration of freedom, both artistic and personal, at a time when Europe was on the brink of modernity. The Fauves drew inspiration from diverse sources. Matisse and Derain admired African and oceanic art for its bold, symbolic use of forms and patterns. They also studied Japanese woodblock prints, appreciating their flat colors and minimalistic beauty. Nature played a crucial role too. Many Fauve paintings depict landscapes, but instead of rendering them realistically, the artists transformed them into vibrant, dreamlike worlds. Derain's The Turning Road, L'Estaque, for instance, turns a quiet village into a kaleidoscope of fiery reds and luminous blues. Fauvism's radical approach wasn't immediately embraced. Critics derided their works as childish, comparing them to the scrawls of untrained artists. Yet this criticism didn't deter the Fauve. Instead, it solidified their resolve to challenge convention. Their boldness inspired other artists to experiment, laying the groundwork for movements like Expressionism and Cubism. Even Picasso, who would later revolutionize art with Cubism, found inspiration in the Fauves' fearless use of color and form. Though the Fauvist movement lasted only a few years, its impact was profound. Artists like Matisse continued to explore the emotional power of color throughout their careers, influencing generations of painters. The movement's emphasis on personal expression and artistic freedom resonated with 20th century art's evolution. Today, Fauvist paintings are celebrated as masterpieces of modern art, their vibrant colors still radiating energy and joy. One remarkable anecdote captures the spirit of Fauvism. When Matisse first exhibited his bold works, he faced widespread ridicule. Yet he remained undeterred, famously stating, "What I am after, above all, is expression." This courage to follow one's vision, even in the face of criticism, defines the essence of Fauvism. It reminds us that innovation often requires stepping into the unknown, unafraid of judgment. In a world saturated with digital imagery, the Fauves' message feels more relevant than ever. They remind us of the power of simplicity, emotion, and authenticity in a time of overabundance. Their fearless use of color can be seen as a metaphor for embracing individuality in an increasingly homogenized culture. Fauvism teaches us to see the world not as it is, but as it feels, through the lens of our imagination. Fauvism, with its wild colors and untamed energy, remains a celebration of artistic freedom. It reminds us that art is not about perfection or imitation, but about expressing what words cannot. As you explore the works of the Fauve, let their boldness inspire you to see beyond the surface, to embrace your own creativity, and to find beauty in the unexpected. Their legacy lives on, proving that sometimes it takes a little wildness to truly capture the essence of life.